The Never-Ending Story by Michael Sars. The cold autumn wind shuffled in from the corner window and gently wrapped around the room. A tattered, well-loved copy of The Lord of the Rings lay on the floor while a stack of Harry Potter novels slept soundly on the bedside table. The arrhythmic tick, 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 tick of a laptop filled the late-night air with a subtle sense of despair, while the crackling flat-screen fireplace gave hope to an otherwise dim and lonely evening. These were tough times. The room didn't used to feel this sad. Michael's energy used to fill the room with a sense of purpose, like it was lucky to watch a black sheep come into his own. It pained him to watch the motivation slowly drain out of Michael's eyes since last March. The room knew Michael well, and he could see the exhaustion weighing down on him. Thus, when he overheard that Michael decided to learn creative writing, the room indeed had his doubts. Alas, he had always pitied the ones who doubted Michael's innovation and decided to do what he did best: watch him. He has, after all, been watching him every day for the past few years. For 14 days, the room watched Michael, especially in the late hours of the day, where Michael made a choice between deliberately practicing his writing or succumbing to the temptations of sleep. He saw good days and he saw bad days. On the good days, Michael followed through on his commitment and wrote half a page of his story, which he recorded on his Medium profile. On the bad days, where an unfinished story was left in the shadows of his desktop, the room only heard excuses. The outcome was interesting, especially considering nothing was ever particularly interesting these days. The excerpts Michael sent out to his friends were well received, and their ratings let Michael avoid a $50 loss to his twin sister Julia, whom he sent money to in order to keep himself accountable. The room had always spent a lot of time thinking. After all, what else was there for a room to do? So, after seeing the outcome of Michael's efforts, he began reflecting on what he had learned. First, Michael made a surprising amount of progress in a short amount of time. If he stayed even more disciplined through this motivational slump, he could have made it past the finish line without that subtle, yet sour taste of regret. Additionally, the room knew that Michael heavily disagreed with the concept of don't follow your passion because he believed in intrinsic motivation. However, this opinion comes with responsibility. It is difficult to pursue many passions for a living because of the high competition these exciting fields contain. Therefore, respecting the sacrifice required in these fields is crucial to success. If Michael was truly passionate about creative writing for a living, then fighting through these short-term motivational troughs would be required to move forward. Had he fought through more on this assignment, the outcome may have been better. The room also learned that for Michael, innovation is a skill that needs to be nurtured, not a talent that he holds by nature. Thus, the concepts of innovation and mastery work in tandem. Although everything may be figure outable, few things can shorten the distance to 10,000 hours. The room was not surprised that Michael ended up enjoying creative writing. He has watched Michael spend hours singing, songwriting, playing guitar and piano, and was happy to see Michael learning that his creative interests can include more than just music. Given these creative interests, the room learned that Michael would likely operate more effectively if he was surrounded by a team. Michael knew this about his music. Why would he have thought any writing was any different? Finally, the room was reminded of a particular slide that spoke to him during one of Michael's classes. Michael Jordan had a trainer with 3 golden rules, one of which was to simply listen. The room was reminded that Michael sometimes lacked in this area. He did not listen to other people's writing advice enough for this assignment, and after one consultation with the writer, he dove in without truly incorporating the writer's advice. Although he believes that incredible art and the innovation within it does not necessarily follow tradition, when Michael can barely call himself a writer, heeding other people's advice can be an excellent way to build a strong skill set. With these learning points in mind, the room was happy to see Michael engaged in his work again. He always had the best results when he enjoyed what he was doing. Today, however, the room noticed a particularly unusual scene. Motivation was aflame in Michael's eyes as he thought of an exciting idea for his adversity reflection assignment. Slowly, a Word document was being filled out with the beginnings of what looked like a story. Creative writing? For an essay? He heard Michael laugh, a velvety, authentic laugh, as the idea for the story, as well as its ending, popped into his thoughts. The room saw Michael begin typing. The cold autumn wind shuffled in from the corner window and gently wrapped around the room. A tattered, well-loved copy of The Lord of the Rings lay on the floor while a stack of Harry Potter novels slept soundly on the bedside table.